your involvement in the community in construction is with something that I think is becoming more well-known, known as arc-built construction. But I'd like you to step back from all the stuff that you've been doing recently. Talk a little bit about what arc-built construction is all about. What kind of construction is it that you have done in the past?
Well, the niche has been, in the past, high-end custom homes. And I've been here in the Valley 13 years. Now with the slowdown in the economy, it's going to more renovations at this point. Not a lot of new homes being built.
And renovations, is that enough to keep you going at this point? Knowing the economy, we do a lot of real estate stories, so I'm kind of interested in
Yeah, actually renovations is a good market. I used to be in that niche years ago, and I love doing renovations. We've also carved out a little niche with wine makers in the valley. We built a winery last year, Red Lily Vineyards, which is doing really, really well, very popular.
So it's custom work that you are used to doing, actually from the beginning to the end, talking to somebody about a construction project and saying, okay, here's how we can go about doing this, and working with the actual client, right?
Yeah, I'm one of those rare contractors who actually loves working in that environment. Most contractors like to do speculation work, and it takes that element out, and they can just do what they want. That of course would sell, but in my thinking, I just like crawling inside of my client's mind and understanding what it is that they want, and helping them to accomplish their dreams, and also to get the most out of their ability to spend. So.
Well, and I think that is an interesting basis for where you are going now. And I wanted to kind of find out where you were to see how you've progressed just in the last couple of years, because we've covered some of the construction builds that you've been involved in, not even knowing it, like the Hearts with a Mission build. I had no idea until a couple months ago that you actually were a critical part of all of that. We saw the construction going up, we saw the workers who were building it and all, but I didn't realize that you had a direct hand in that, as well as the Cody Smith house. And also, of course, the Extreme Home Makeover. I know you've got the shirt on right now, the Extreme Makeover Home Edition here in Medford, that got so much community involvement, and you were the lead in that, weren't you?
Yeah, my company was chosen as the lead contractor, so it was a great honor, and I was ready for that after Cody Smith's. It was, God had raised me up to the point, these stepping stones that I've been taking, as you mentioned. I see them as stepping stones anyway, have brought me to the place where I got a feel for my community, their heart, and when I said yes to Extreme Makeover Home Edition, I knew the community I was working with, and I knew that we were capable of doing a great job at that, which we excelled. It
was a great job, right? I mean, it met your expectations, I hope, right?
Yeah, even down to the point where we were told by the Extreme Makeover Home Edition producers that we should lower our standards for quality because of time.
Is that right?
And it's a race against time, but we were not willing to do that. We told them, we're not going to do that, and they were sort of smiling and laughing to themselves, saying, yeah, right, you'll have to give in at some point, and we really didn't. Our community came out in such force, with such teamwork. The Holy Spirit's presence there was just amazing, with all the people that were praying for that build, and everything that I wanted it to be and our team wanted it to be came to pass. We give all the glory to Jesus Christ and His Holy Spirit.
Well, I know that people who are astounded by seeing it from all the angles that we were able to show, including the aerial view and all that, are just very impressed with that particular build. And to see that happening here in Medford, I mean, it shows the quality of all the people coming together, first of all, but also the ability that we have in this community. Now, this is the major stepping stone that took you to Nigeria. I realize there's a lot to be told about this, but give us a Reader's Digest version. How did this get you to Nigeria, and why did you decide to go there?
Well, that's another little story in and of itself, but just to boil it all down, my wife and I were in Kona, Hawaii about 1.5 years ago on vacation. We met missionaries that were going to Nigeria, and they were preparing at the University of Nations in Kona. And we became very close to them in just one day. We left the next day, as a matter of fact. that came from an invitation from some people on the beach that just invited us to go to church, and we met Jackson, and the Holy Spirit just said, go meet this guy, you got to talk to him.
So this is Jackson is a guy at the church there? Okay.
Jackson Indacek is the missionary, and his wife, Annika. Jackson is from Cameroon, Africa, and Annika is from Holland. And they met in Nigeria in the mission field in Port Harcourt at the base that we went and visited. And they were later married, and then they've gone off to school now to prepare to run their own University of Nations in Calabar.
Okay, so how did that get you to Nigeria by meeting these people?
He asked me to be on his advisory board, which I began praying about going to Nigeria at that point, and being a part of a party that would go and try to find property and make some of the arrangements that were needed to build a university there.
Okay, so you kind of went there and you scoped it out. Are there plans to do that at this point?
Yeah, you know, the plans have actually become much larger than we thought possible. And let me explain. We, at the last part of our stay in Nigeria, one of the head militants who became a Christian, his name is Nature, arranged for a meeting with government officials at River State. And we went to the Capitol building and met with the Secretary of Lands. We met with the Commissioner of Agriculture and also the Permanent Secretary of Agriculture, who has a PhD in soils. And we talked about the benefits of having a University of Nations. You know, they highly specialize in technologies for third world nations to bring them to a better place, hopefully to a first world nation status. And so they were very impressed with the new technologies, especially in agriculture, that they have developed. And so they really would like to have a University of Nations right close to the international airport in Port Harcourt, which is way beyond the dreams and expectations that we could have imagined would have happened while we were there. We were planning on going to Calabar, a smaller city about 100 miles away, and there just wasn't a safe way to get there. And
so you went there, you've looked at the property, plans are still to build a college there, a university, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you got your hand in that pie as well as trying to keep your business going here, ArcBuilt, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, now you're on your way to Kona, Hawaii. You've been there once,
yes,
and you're going back there. Again, I realize there's so much in the way of stories on all this, but give us, how did you make that connection then from the Nigeria trip to going to Kona?
Well, praying about building a model somewhere in another location that we could use to develop a university in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, became a major prayer for me. And as I prayed and thought about what they were doing in Kona and learned about their needs to finish up some buildings there, you know, I just received from the Holy Spirit a vision for building a model in Kona. Now, what makes Kona interesting is it's the most remote island. Those are the most remote islands on the earth. So getting materials there is logistically tough, and also bringing manpower into that area that we would need is also you know, a costly thing to do. And so it makes the perfect place for developing a model that we can duplicate then in Nigeria and other countries.
So you've kind of gone to Nigeria, looked at what could work there, and you worked with Youth with a Mission. You got in touch with them in Nigeria, right?
Yes, we
Realizing that they're involved also in Kona. And now you're in Kona saying, okay, let's build a model that we can bring back to Nigeria. Am I right? Am I oversimplifying it?
No, I think that's, you know, it's a little bit more simple than what I'm explaining. But yes, that is in a nutshell what we're talking about doing.
Okay, so you've been now to Kona, which is a wonderful place for a mission field. I can imagine. And you've talked to some of the heads there. There's a media center, a 72,000 square foot media center. Is that right, that you're working on building?
Yeah, they call it the Transmedia Arts Building.
What's that? What would that be used for with Youth with a Mission?
Well, 30,000 square foot of it is going to be used by David Cunningham and Global Virtual Studios, who've located on the campus to produce Hollywood quality movies. David is a movie producer, and director from Hollywood, 20 years, and he's just fed up with these stories that don't get to where he wants them to get. He'd like to see biblical worldview in Hollywood quality movies. And so 30,000 square foot is going to be dedicated to global virtual studios on the campus.
Okay, can we have a Dove wing of that? Is that possible, just to produce our own videos? Can you work on that for us?
I would say we could work on that, absolutely. Okay. I think that you would be invited.
You sound so sincere about this. Well, that's a fascinating thing. Okay, I want to get to the idea that you actually, on your website, I've seen it, you're wanting to work with people now here, maybe some who worked with the Extreme Home Makeover edition, to help you with that project in Kona.
Yes.
Okay, we've only got a few minutes, so tell me, what is it that you want people to do if they're feeling that they need to look into this a little bit more? Who are you looking for, and what would they be doing?
Well, first of all, go to the website Kona Summer Surge.
KonaSummerSurge.com, okay.
And also visit my blog, rushtoafrica.com. And then they'll be able to get a better picture. So that, in a nutshell, is the best way to learn about it. But yeah, we're inviting people who were involved in Extreme Makeover Home Edition here in the Valley, and other contractors, whomever, that has the skill sets that we're looking for. And on the website, there's a list of the people that we need. And if they pay their airfare to come over to Kona, everything else will be provided for them while they're there. And they can stay for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, however long they can stay, even down to 1 week. And their family is invited, so they can bring their wife and their children.
Wow.
And it's going to be like a family getaway, a retreat for families, but on steroids, because it's in Kona, and we have the architect of fun, Ken Snelling, coming along, and he's going to design work schedules that also give time for family, honor family, so that families can go out and tour the island, do snorkeling, scuba diving, and many of the other things that are
You're actually going to get some work done, I assume?
We are going to do more. Let's put it this way. We're going to work hard and we're going to play hard.
Okay. So when is this particular project getting underway in Kona?
Okay, so the Summer Surge officially starts when school's out on July 5th and runs till September 15th. So if people go on the website and fill out a form there, they'll want to also let us know in their notes when it is that they could get away and how long that might be, and then we'll be contacting them.
Okay, so you're looking for specialists in certain areas of construction?
We are. We're looking for general contractors. We are looking for engineers. We're looking for drywallers, electricians, plumbers, finish carpenters, the whole gamut of construction. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's this is a roundabout way of going to work in Nigeria, to go to Kona, but then you'll take that knowledge, bring that back with you, and probably be able to build something even more impressive than you thought.
Yeah. And to sum that up, David Cunningham, who is an amazing director, film producer, he's going to produce a very classy documentary on this whole build.
All right,
and that's going to become available then to the international Christian community to show what can happen when thousands of people come together and put their minds to
that's cool.
The project.
Rush Behnke with us, of course, originally with Arc Built, but as you can see, moving in so many different areas. Keep us up to date with what's going on, okay?
Sure. Well, I update my blog once a week, so.
We'll keep watching it at rushtoafrica.com, right?
Yes, which will become rushtonations.com, because when I was in Nigeria, I was actually called into missions. So that's the next complicated part of my life. How does that work out? And I'm called to the nations, not just Africa.